Hey, what's up, you guys? It is the 4th of January, and I am coming to you live. Well, not live, but I'm coming to you from Storm Brody, I think it was. I thought it was Storm Grayson, or maybe that's Blizzard Grayson, I don't know. But I'm coming to you, like I said before, from Connecticut, and right now we have about maybe 9 to 10 inches of snow. I know that's not a lot for some of you other people, but for us, it's kind of a big deal. So, we're all locked up in our homes. We've been here all day. I'm kind of sick, but I discovered something really cool recently, and it's called, I don't know exactly what it's called, but we're gonna call it Dirty Pores. If you search Dirty Pore, these will all come up. So I made a couple to try out because once I saw how to do this, I thought it was the easiest, coolest craft that you could do because it takes literally no skill. You can do it, your kid can do it, anyone can do it, and it'll come out looking pretty awesome. But if you want to master some like real techniques, like there are techniques to doing it, you can like explore that more. But I literally just experiment. That's what I do. I experiment with stuff, and that's what I did with this. And because it was such a simple thing that I could. So here's my first example. This is what comes of a dirty pour. Now you can see there's like these bubbles in here and stuff like that. And what I did was, because I didn't have all the correct ingredients or the, you know, your basic ingredients for this, I used this piece of art as my poor man's substitute. There's usually 3 things that go into the mixes. That's Floetrol, the paint, and a little bit of water. And then later on they add some silicone or something like that. Now the reason you want to have some Floetrol in there is so that the paint can move over the canvas nice and easy. Plus, you put 2 parts Floetrol and 1 part paint. So this extends the life of your paint. It makes the material 3 times as much. I don't know how you would say that, but you have 3 times as much. You take 1 part paint and then it's 3 parts paint. Anyway, the Floetrol doesn't change the color. This is yellow. It still looks yellow. It didn't turn to a pastel. It's still nice and vibrant. But anyway, since I didn't have the Floetrol, I used a little bit more water on this one. And I also substituted the Floetrol with glue. Elmer's glue. Actually, it was like dollar store glue. I got 4 bottles of it and I squeezed it all out. And I used glue, olive oil, because I didn't have silicone. I still don't have silicone. We are substituting the silicone today for the WD-40, which probably smells worse than the actual silicone would smell, but and I've never tried this before. Like I said, this is my first one. This is glue, olive oil, water, and paint. You can see, you don't have to be a scientist to know. Water and oil, they separate, the paint gets in the way. It just skirts over, makes these cool cells. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. Makes some cool cells. And that seems to be the goal with this craft, is that you want to get these beautiful bubbles in there, because that's where some like cool patterns start showing up. I don't know. It's abstract, so you can do anything with it. And that, I used to hate abstract because I would say, any old person can do it. That doesn't take talent. But you can learn ways to like manipulate this painting while you're doing it so that it's something that only you could design, even though it's kind of like your little snowflake. It's the only one that's going to be like this, but I mean, there are ways to have more control. But if you don't want control or can't have control because you feel like you're not an artist, this is the perfect craft. This thing right here. I was supposed to do this with my friend Shannon, and because the blizzard and the weather and the New Year's and 1,000 other things, we couldn't do it. I will put another post up where I do this with her because I really looked forward to, doing this with a friend, because it's kind of like they're not intimidated by your artistic abilities or whatever. It's just you're all making a surprise. You find out a surprise at the end. So when my Floetrol came in the mail, I was really excited and I didn't want to wait. So I would make sample pieces, and that's the first one I just showed you. The second one went much better. The second one The second one went much better. This is the second one. Now that is really pretty. You know, the colors are more vibrant. They're separated. Like, I love this right here. It's just like a rainbow sky and then like someone's dreams or something. I don't know, that's a really hippie thing to say. But right here in the middle, it started getting kind of boring, and like as I was tipping it side to side, and what I did was I just blew on it. And these little, especially the spot, it blew all the paint off in some layers. And I've seen some other people do this where they take a straw and they blow down to like move it, and I just kind of held it and went through. I did it down here too. You can see it looks like just some fog, and through the fog you see a glimpse of some galaxies or something. I don't know. I think they all look like galaxies to me because there's a lot of bubbles and stuff. It looks like, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, some bubbles and craters. It just looks like the Milky Way, maybe up close. I don't know. The other cool thing about this is that it pours over the side, so like even the edges are beautiful to look at. You know, this is such an easy craft. This is just as easy as dyeing eggs for Easter. That's the next, like, it's not even close to the next holiday, but I wish it were the next holiday because this snow stuff sucks. Today we're gonna make a video from scratch with the Floetrol. And this time I'll be adding the WD-40 as the silicone. The silicone, like I said before, is what gives you all your extra cells and your bubbles, and it's what stretches the paint around and makes it look like this lacy effect. So you're gonna see it just as much as I'm gonna see it for the first time, and we'll see how it goes. And then maybe when I get to do this with Shannon, I'll have a little bit of experience under my belt, and I can kind of guide her a little bit, so we'll see. So let's start. Start with the Floetrol, then add paint. 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. Do that in the little cups with the colors. This one I'm going to use for white. Oops, went a little far. Forgot to put down the wax paper. A little bit of water, just a little bit. A dabble of water. Here we go. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is put this second canvas in my casserole dish or lasagna pan, whatever this thing is. I got this from the dollar store. I got the rest of it at Ocean State Job Lot. So I'm going to be pouring on this canvas. What I'm going to try and do is salvage some of the wasted paint on a canvas. I did that with the other one. It came out looking like this. Not the most beautiful thing. I'll probably pour on it again, but it could have been something cool, so you might as well get 2 for the price of 1, you know what I mean? So we mixed our stuff together, and we're gonna take one of these dollar store cups, 8-ounce cup, 9-ounce, whatever, and we're gonna make our pour and make sure everything's stirred up really, really good. I mean, these people stir this crap forever. I'm gonna keep the white. I wanna make this mainly white. My goal is to make it mainly white and have like the colors burst through the white. I don't know how to achieve that. I'm sure there's a way or a technique, but I'm gonna just try and figure it out. So my white's a little bit thicker on purpose because I want it to be the most dense. Maybe I don't want it. Maybe I wanted it to be my lightest. I don't know. I'm not a scientist / whatever. So right now I'm just gonna pour the colors that I've made. And remember, these is just Floetrol and paint. I think only the white I had had a little water. I just treated the white different because I really want the white to be the champion here. Now this is hard to see from. I can't really get a super great angle. I'm gonna do this to ya. Show you a little bit as I go. The key with this is like, I only bought 3 colors. Well, technically 5 colors, but like 3 colors, the primary colors. And that other canvas that I showed you before, that was just these 3 colors and white. And they make all the colors of the rainbow. So some of them mix, some of them don't. That's what's cool about this, is like putting like together. These are kind of clown colors, they're ugly. But let me tell you, when you pour it, oops, sorry about that. Oops, again. When you pour this stuff, it creates the picture right in front of you. It's kind of wild. So I know at some point here, I'm supposed to add the WD-40. Now the thing about that is, I don't know where it goes, like what step it goes. Like I said, I'm doing this for the first time. So here's my WD-40. I'm gonna make sure I'm not pointing it at my face. Whoop. A little stinky. But that will create our cells, that will create our bubbles. And then it will look so cool, girl. I can't tell you, an art project has not gotten me this excited in a long time. Because when you're an artist, like, and you do like commissions and stuff, being awesome at art can like become like a chore, pressure, especially when you haven't done it in a while and then you're like, God, like I'm letting my craft die. But when you get to do something like this is the fun stuff. It doesn't have to be photorealistic. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look cool. And like 9 out of 10 times it will. That's the coolest part. Okay, so I can see a little red peeking through here. I don't know if I have this light right. Okay, there's some red in there. That is the separation from the WD-40. Now this is the messy part. And the fun part. I don't know, I feel like maybe I should put white on this because I really just want the white to be the dominant color. I know we're on like the hunt for some beautiful rainbow colors, but like mixed with white, it just, I don't know. That's the look I'm going for. So you place your canvas over the top, hold it, whoop, let gravity do its thing. I'm gonna set it down, and all the other people, they let it sit for a minute. Oh, we already got some leakage, but that's fine, that's fine. So I guess like if we're gonna be like the other people that do it every day or all the time, then we're gonna let it sit for a minute. So I'm gonna pause this for a second and then we'll come right back and we'll do little slip slab thing. Slip slab is not a word. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it was like 10 seconds ago. Oops. But I just thought the other thing I saw people do that had like the predominantly like white background pour is that they took the white they had and poured it around the upside down cup. Now I'm assuming that kind of locks the other paint within this border, so to speak. But it'll also move. It'll also move the colors and everything. It's not like the colors and stuff couldn't get past it. They always say like scrape your cup, get all your paint, like use as much product as you can. And you can spread it around. I'm only using spoons because I couldn't find popsicle sticks, if you can believe it. I went to like a bunch of stores too. Usually the dollar store has them, but you know, you don't want to mix your spoons with your paints. Every cup needs its own stir, whatever that stir is, whether it's a popsicle stick or whatever. You want to separate those. Now, I only had 4 spoons because I nabbed them from my mom, but you know, I washed them. And I'm gonna rewash these cutesy little cups and everything too. For these, like normally I'm not really worried about washing my cups and stuff. Like I wash them, but I don't care if there's little paint chips in there, but I have heard some artists say that later some dry flakes get in there and it's not a good look. So if you do reuse these cups for this kind of a project, just make sure you wash them really good and don't be lazy like I am sometimes. Oh boy. Okay, so this has been sitting for a second, and usually like I watch them like lift it gently, maybe rotate a little bit. That's what I'm doing. Slide it around a little. Oh man. Look at those colors. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. And then they do one of these. Oh. Yes, it's predominantly white. That sounds so awful, but that's not what I meant. You know what I mean. I'm gonna do a little shaky shake on the edge here. Make it look a little psychedelic. I don't know why, but all the other artists like always tap the edge of every corner with their cup and make these weird little lines. Ooh, look at the inside of my cup. So the WD-40 like did its job. Now the other thing that a lot of these artists do, ooh, even the cup is pretty. The other thing these artists do is, I'm making such a mess outside the wax paper barrier. Anyway, they torch these, and I don't have a torch. I don't really need that. Like, that's such an unnecessary thing. I guess it like pulls more cells and bubbles out. It depends on how like hardcore you are into this and how many of these you want to make. Maybe you love the bubble look. Maybe if I had a torch, I would love the bubble look. Who knows? And just keep in mind, you guys, like this is my first time doing this, so I want to keep some of that white in there. I know this part is supposed to take a long time, and maybe I'm going too fast, but you have to go slow, and like you can kind of see the shapes manipulating themselves, but you don't want to like ruin some cool patterns. That's the hard part. Like I've watched hours of these, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool pattern. I wish they would stop there, but they kind of can't. You have to keep going until you fill up the whole canvas. But the cool thing about that is it still, I feel like, always makes a really cool picture. Like, look at what that's doing. I don't love this sort of grayish part in the middle here, but like in the camera it looks pretty darn rainbowy, which I guess I'm cool with that, because like who doesn't love a good rainbow? What do you think? I really like that purple coming down. Look at that. That's freaking coolio. Seeing like all this extra paint ends up on the bottom. It ended up looking gray in the other one. Oh, look at the pull it's doing. This is the fun part. This is like where your picture is being born. You know, you're kind of manipulating it. It's kind of manipulating itself. I want more of this white. Now, I've seen people add paint after the fact. So like, I don't really like that spot right there. So what I'm gonna do is take this canvas out. I have another tray nearby with the little baby tin in it upside down. So I'm gonna just lay this down. It does look pretty cool, like it does look cool, like hands down. I'm feeling good about it, but I do wish I had more white. My gloves are a mess, so the gloves ended up being a really important part. The first time I did this, I did not wear gloves, and I was using the glue and all that. That sucked. But I'm gonna take my gloves off for a second just so I can handle the paint a little better. And like what I saw other artists do is like they kind of drizzled it. You know? Maybe I could add some water. I'm like putting my elbows and everything in everything here. That's a good amount of water. Maybe add some more white to that. All my stuff is everywhere. I'm so unorganized. That's what we are, little scatterbrains. Alright, so I'm adding some more white to this. Oh, and you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add some friggin' WD-40, kids. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe I should add some more Floetrol to this as well. So I did add some more paint, so to make it kind of, I don't know. I can lighten up the sides too. See, maybe I could have gone slower and stretched these bubbles out, or maybe they're supposed to look like that, you know? Who knows? Let's see how this goes. A little WD-40. I literally feel like a little mad scientist because I'm just, like I said, totally making this up. I'm just making it drizzly. Make it drizzly. Is it drizzly? Yeah, let's drizzly. It'll move. Alright, put my spoon down. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright. I'm gonna get my gloves back on and try to move it around a bit and make it blend like it was there the whole time. I guess this is the part which like separates people from being like kind of amateur-y and being kind of like good at it. I don't know. Sorry. I mean, what we should be using is like silicone. You know, the other thing I liked doing was taking the spoon and like scooping the sides, and they would get like a pretty like cool pattern on the spoon, and then I'd drizzle that in. Like, I didn't want to drizzle that over there, but that's where it ended up. Scoop it from the bottom of the tray, whatever. We're making it up, guys. We're making it up as we go. So the other thing I did with one, oh my gosh, careful on your sides. Make sure you get around your corners too, but the other thing we did, well, I did, was I blew through the layers, like, and like some colors came out. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can right there. You know, could be using a straw. A straw! That's not even a word. A straw. I gotta be careful this doesn't like pour everywhere all over my lap. 'cause that would really suck. Oh, but look how it's changing. Just have an even breath. You know what's stupid is I looked at straws and I was like, I'm not gonna do straws. Like, I'm gonna do it like the real drip drip way. But then, like, it just brings out such cool colors. Let it move a little. I definitely just put my hand on my forehead after putting it in this gloved hand with like all this paint, girl. It's moving. It's going really slow, but it's moving. It's definitely a different kind of craft. And yeah, it feels like you're wasting a lot, but I suspect you could mix the glue and the Floetrol to like make it last longer. I just think it's so cool. Now I have to face it towards me so I can kind of see what I'm doing. That looks like a little dolphin, doesn't it? Right there. I'm dripping paint everywhere. This like little tub idea here is really super helpful, if I do say so myself. So this is a cool craft. I suspect you shall try it because, I mean, doesn't it look fun? That's pretty. It makes no sense. It doesn't have to. It looks pretty. You know what else you could do with this? You could like, and I've been thinking about it myself, is like add text, like black or just white text like right over it. You know? Maybe I'll do that and put it in my Etsy shop. So the link will be down below. So this is what we got so far. That's not bad. Like, that's fun. I like that. I like the colors. I like that it's prominently, you know, purple and pink, a little green like Jupiter at the bottom with the little dolphin guy. That's cool. Actually, the purple kind of looks like a phoenix. Like, I don't know if you guys see it, but that's the beauty of these kinds of pieces of art, is that you see what you want to see, and everybody gets to see something different. So if you'd like to buy this, it will be in my Etsy shop. If you want to make your own, cool, do it. Post it on our Facebook, Carolyn's Crafts and Crab. Pray for my speedy recovery, or so I can get better. I'm actually not really that sick. I'm on the outskirts of it. I feel it. Doesn't feel great, but anyway, you guys know what to do. Like I said, if you make one of these, please share it with us, because I can't get enough of them, and I'd love to see what you make. Good kids craft too. Just make sure you cover every surface with like newspaper or wax paper, because it's messy.